This is the 34th lecture of the Semantic SEO course, and in this lecture, we will talk about the heading levels or the heading hierarchy and the anchor text. If you look our heading hierarchy, you see we use the certain type of semantic content networks. In our macro context, these are all have the H2. Now, if you break this part again, the search engine can understand basically on a font size or a typography, or sometimes they skip the numbers that you are using and they assign the new numbers. But if you are breaking the format and if you are still getting the feature snippet, it means that you have very high level of page rank or there is no another candidate passage answer. And when we look after our incremental heading order list, we see this as a grouper question, or we called it as root or roof question. Then we go deeper and deeper with the different instructions. Once we ask this specific question with the how, then we go for the what question. What are the benefits of drinking water in the morning? Why we ask this question here? Because we did not ask this question at this specific place one more time, and we need to actually continue to the same context with a deeper look. Then once we ask this question, we actually go for the further boolean questions, because the boolean questions is a very simpler to answer and they have just yes or the no, and these boolean questions are relevant to the voice search. If you are able to rank for the voice search, it will be easier for going more features in the past for a same topic. The thing is, when you talk with the search engine in your queries, you will realize that boolean questions are usually answered by telling yes or no. If I am able to use this structure for taking more historical data just from the voice search or the voice search session, it will be reflected on also the web session search session too. From there, if you are able to rank for these contextual layers by taking the certain type of answer ranking, then the ranking for this specific question, it's a way much easier. And if we are able to rank for these two specific questions, then it's a very easier to rank for our macro context. So supplementary content does not mean it is a less important. It is highly relevant for passing the page rank to the different pages, and at the same time it is the best for taking further historical data from different vertical of the search. When we look at the internal links, we did not have the link in a macro context, but we have still this specific internal link in our macro context because we want to give this more weight. Then we give the space to the search engine processors and the users. Then we increase the frequency of internal links. Now here you see we directly internal link to the luxury drinking water, which is our the source context, because this is our root and we connect our, directly our root to the our source context. And since this is the optimum level, there are two little bit edges of both angles, like without water and drinking too much water. Then here the type of water and the amount of water. So we link these from the bottom areas because we did not want to decrease the relevance of this section directly through these query networks. Another thing, whenever the link is earlier, it's a most important, and the first link and the first anchor text in the main content, it will be affecting your processing. Processing means the evaluation of the text in terms of relevance. So to be able to process all these parts in a proper way and distribute the relevance in a higher percentage, we actually take these three columns. Then we start to generate the question and distribute them. The hard part is creating the proper macro context and then creating the proper contextual vector, and then you need to create some kinds of hierarchy, then distributing the anchor text properly. But what will be happening inside the main middle area? I can tell this is hard as much as this area. Mostly the most time consuming section will be this, and sometimes the things that you do in this specific area, it might change the order of this section, or you might need to use extra columns, and we will see them in the future lectures. So see you in the next lecture.